Hey guys, Derek here with Derek's All MMA channel to do my UFC 129 predictions. Been a long time. I think it's been like a month since the last UFC event, the Little Nog, Phil Davis. Didn't get a chance to do a recap on that event. Sure, it's not that big of a deal. Let's get it started for this historic making. 55,000 sold out in the Toronto UFC 129. Looking forward to it very much. First fight on the card, very intriguing fight. Mark Bocek versus Ben Henderson. This is a very interesting fight, very competitive fight, and I expect it to be very exciting. On the feet, I think Bocek is actually, I give Bocek the edge. I think he's more technical than Ben Henderson, but I don't think that will play the role in how this fight is decided. On the ground, I think Henderson can get it to the ground anytime he wants to get it to the ground. And I think Bocek has the better grappling, the better submissions. So really, it comes down to what is Ben Henderson's game plan. If Ben Henderson's game plan, in my opinion, for him to win this fight, is for him to stay enough on his feet, keep it close enough on the feet till you get about a minute and a half left in the round, get a takedown on Bocek, and just try to stay active, avoid submissions, kind of play, steal the clock. I think Ben Henderson could get a decision. Bocek, I think, has got to really just press the pace against Ben Henderson. He's really got to, but Ben Henderson has great cardio. I think Bocek has a better chance of finishing this fight than Ben Henderson, but it's going to be tough because of the it's going to be tough for Bocek to get the fight to the ground. But I could see Henderson getting the fight to the ground and making a mistake, and Bocek slapping on a submission. But Ben Henderson's so tough to submit. So this is a weird fight because it's so close. I'm going to go Bocek by split decision in this fight because I think he's the better fighter. But yeah, you could see a situation where he's able to get a submission, Henderson's able to escape it, and the judges give the round to Henderson just based off him being on top. But if you're a knowledgeable MMA fan, Bocek should, that's how the fight plays out, Bocek should be able to get a decision. But it's going to be close, very interesting fight, but I'm going to go split decision, Mark Bocek. Second fight of the night, Lyoto the Dragon Machida versus Randy the Natural Couture. A lot of people, if Randy Couture wins this fight, it would just, he's already had such a great career where he won fights that nobody thought he could win. But in this fight, I just talked to a guy on here, and I told him, watch the last two Liddell fights, the last two Couture-Liddell fights. Couture would press it, try to initiate the clinch. Liddell's able to move back with his footwork and hit him as he's moving back and, counter when Couture was able to throw something. And I kind of, guys, really believe how this fight's going to play out. Machida, he moves, but his footwork is so much better than Liddell's, obviously, and I believe he counters better than Chuck Liddell. And I know it's a long time ago and fighters evolve, but really, just go back and watch those two fights, and I think you'll see what I'm talking about. To where I just think this is such a bad matchup for Couture because Machida is so athletic and so fast. He's the reason why people say he's very elusive for a reason. Elusive means something. He's very hard to get to. And I just don't think Couture can cut the cage off and press forward enough to really do anything to Machida. Machida can make a mistake in Couture, but Machida's got good wrestling. I just see this being a very matchup for Couture, and I see Machida putting Couture to sleep. So I'm going to go first round knockout, Lyoto Machida. But with that being said, it's been a great career for Randy Couture, and I think this, even if it ends that way, you got to give it up for Randy Couture for everything he's done for the sport. But I believe we see Machida bounce back, and I see him making a run to getting another title shot by this time next year. So Machida, first round knockout. Third fight of the night, Jason Brills, Vladimir Matyushenko. Both of them they like to use their groundwork. They're both the wrestlers. I think Matyushenko is the better wrestler. I think Brills is the better grappler. I think on the feet, I think Matyushenko's better on the feet and he hits harder. So with that being said, as long as Matyushenko don't make a mistake, if he takes this fight down to the ground and gets swept or Brills gets top position, because Brills has very good sweeps. Watch the Little Nog fight, and he got swept a lot. That's a very weird fight. But I think overall Matyushenko's the better fighter. I think he hits harder. I think he's got the better. I actually think Matyushenko has the better wrestling. This fight could be very boring or it could be very exciting. It's just one of those, I wonder how their styles play against each other. I'm wanting to give Matyushenko the finish, but I just can't do it. I see Matyushenko getting a 29-28. I mean, it shouldn't be that close. I see Matyushenko getting a decision. The co-main event. Jose Aldo, Mark Hominick, very exciting fight. It's going to be a lot of you guys first chance to see Jose Aldo. He is really the 140-pound version of Anderson Silva. The way I see this fight going, Hominick has the more technical stand-up. Aldo's better everywhere else by far. I see Aldo kind of staying back, using leg kicks, countering. Hominick gets an opening. But at some point in the fight, whether it be the first, second, or maybe even the third round, Hominick's going to make a mistake, and Aldo's going to capitalize on it, either by knee, or I think he's going to wear him down with those leg kicks. He's going to counter and drop Hominick. And I see Aldo getting him in a position where Hominick gives up his back. And I see Jose Aldo getting this rear naked choke. I'm going to go ahead and say third round, because I think Hominick can make this interesting, because he's good enough on his feet. It's going to take Aldo some time to get his timing down with Hominick. But I think Aldo's going to be fine while he's getting his timing down, because he's going to have those explosive leg kicks that he has to slow Hominick down. And at some point, and I think in the third round, Hominick's going to make a mistake. Aldo's going to catch him. He's going to drop him. And Hominick's going to give up his back. And Aldo's going to get this via rear naked choke. On to the main event. George St. Pierre versus Jake Shields. You know, Jake Shields has done a lot outside of the UFC. You know, I think he hasn't lost since, 2006. Correct me if I'm wrong on that. But in my opinion, Jake Shields is not the second best welterweight in the world. You know, he barely beat Martin Kampmann. And in my personal opinion, Jake Shields doesn't deserve this title shot. But nonetheless, he's getting it. Big event, Montreal, George St. Pierre in front of his crowd. You know, it's going to be spectacular. The arena's going to be going. It's going to be very exciting. And I think Shields is going to choke under the pressure. But even if Jake Shields is at his best, I don't see any way for him to win this fight. He can't take George St. Pierre down. His striking is not nowhere near St. Pierre's level. So basically what you got to look at in this fight is it's kind of like the same thing we keep saying with Pierre. Everybody keeps saying, who's the best pound-for-pound fighter in the world, Anderson Silva or GSP? And why most people keep saying Anderson Silva is because Anderson Silva finishes his opponents. To me, the story in this fight isn't, because I'm pretty sure George St. Pierre is going to win this fight, is can George St. Pierre move up to where you can actually have a real debatable argument whether he's pound for pound better than Anderson Silva. Because right now I don't believe that you can. And for that to ever happen, St. Pierre's got to start finishing these guys. So let's see if that can happen in this fight. I'm hoping it does. I'm going to predict a second round TKO. I went TKO, second round TKO. George St. Pierre, I think Shields is just, he's not going to be able to get the fight down to the ground. I think St. Pierre's going to land shots on him. I see Shields shooting for takedowns, eating knees. I see St. Pierre landing head kicks, you know, counters, Superman punches, left hooks, straight rights, anything. He's got that jab. I just see St. Pierre just really just treating Jake Shields like a bitch in this fight. And I see St. Pierre winning this fight, second round TKO. Can't wait for this event, guys. I promise you I will do a recap video on this card once the fight is over, either Saturday night or Sunday, and I'll get that out to you. But fight week, guys. Just looking forward to this fight. Peace out. Love you guys. Let me know what you think.